Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So as you can see from the title, today's video is going to be sort of a breakdown of what certain repeating numbers mean. I often see comments and even get DMs from you guys that you are seeing repeating numbers, sometimes several times a day, so I'm hoping that this video will help you guys to decipher what your higher self and your spirit guides are trying to communicate to you with different numbers. My hope is that after watching this video, you would be able to find some meaning in any number that you come across. If you're new here, hello, my name is Kino. I normally make tarot pick a card videos on this channel, so if you're interested in those, feel free to check those out as well. I also make music, which is what you heard in the intro of this video, so that channel will be linked down below too. This is almost definitely going to be a long video, so I will make a sort of table of contents that I'll put in a pinned comment so that if there's just one specific number that you want to know about, you can scroll down and find the number that has been following you around and just watch the part for that one so that you can know what it means. And of course, you're also welcome to stay for the entire lecture that I have prepared for you this fine evening. So, repeating numbers, or angel numbers as they are often called, are numbers that appear to us in our physical experience on Earth and that carry messages for us from our higher selves, our spirit guides, our guardian angels, our ancestors, and even the higher selves of other people in our life. And even the universe itself. I forgot that one. Each number has its own specific meaning and therefore brings you a distinct message. We're gonna get into all of the numbers and their meanings in this video, but there are just some things I want to address first. One thing is that I think these angel numbers often appear simply for the purpose of confirmation. I often tell people if they're seeing an angel number and they don't know what it means, they should pay attention to what they were thinking about when they saw the number. Because it may not necessarily matter which number you saw, but more so just the fact that you saw one, the fact that one was shown to you while you were thinking about that thing or that person or that action, because that's like your higher self or your guide's way of getting your attention. That's their way of confirming something about what you were thinking. That's their way of showing you approval and confirmation and showing you that they're happy. So they may just be trying to tell you, yes, what you're thinking right now is accurate, or yes, what you're thinking right now is a good idea, or yes, what you're thinking right now is going to happen. So like if you're considering taking up figure skating and you see 1111, that's your guides telling you, yeah, that's a great idea, you should go for it. And of course, if you feel drawn to look deeper into what 1111 specifically means, there might be a deeper message for you there, but I think oftentimes the most important thing about seeing the numbers is that we are getting a confirmation about what we're thinking. Now, I will say, if you are seeing the same repeating number every single time, like you're always seeing 2222, then it's a lot more likely that there is a specific message you need to know within that number. And another thing to remember is that while each number does have a traditional set definition, receiving messages from your higher self and your guides is a very personal experience. If you look up the meaning of just a singular number, like the meaning of the number 5, the meaning of the number 7, it does have a set numerological meaning. And if you look at numerology websites, you're quite likely to see the same meaning repeating itself. It may be worded a little bit differently, but it's generally consistent no matter where you're looking. However, some of you guys may have noticed that when you search what an angel number means, like what does 3663 mean? What does 1212 mean? These kind of number sequences, I guess. If you search this on a spirituality blog, every source is going to say something different. It's like every person seems to have their own idea of what it means. And nobody is right or wrong, but this just goes to show you how personal these interpretations can be. In fact, you can even make up the meaning yourself, and your guides will cooperate with that. You can totally tell your guides, if I'm on the right path, I want you to show me repeating 3s. If I need to move on, if I need to reconsider something, I want you to show me repeating 5s. Like this, you can kind of create your own language with your guides. I honestly feel like you could stop watching the video at this point because this is really the most important thing to remember. But what I want to do in the rest of this video is go through each number from 0 to 9 and talk about their traditional meaning for those of you who are interested in knowing. And then I also want to talk about the different number formations that you might see. Like, there are many different patterns that the numbers can appear in. So I want to go through all of those as well and explain what they mean. That section of the video about the formations, that does come from my own intuition. So of course, feel free to claim it and use it for yourself if it resonates with you. If not, don't worry about it. I wanted to try to kind of leave you guys with a comprehensive system so that no matter what number you come across, you'll be able to figure out what it means. Also, you'll notice that pretty much all of the numbers have more than one meaning. So when deciphering angel numbers, you should choose the meaning that is most relevant to your life, the one that resonates most with you. So without further ado, let's go through each of the numbers, starting with 0. 0, as you may have guessed, represents nothingness. The idea of nothingness might seem scary, but it's actually quite liberating. It's like the idea of infinite potential. It simultaneously speaks of the beginning and the ending of something, so there's also this feeling of wholeness and completeness within it. And of course, it's in a circular shape, so it is infinite. The number 0 is associated with the Fool in tarot, whom I think embodies this energy very well. The Fool has no judgments, no baggage, no preconceptions, no attachments, just complete openness to the journey ahead and a complete trust in the universe. It's like the closest energy to source energy because it just is. This number might appear in your life to remind you to be present, to have faith, to let go, stop overthinking, and be more open-minded. The number 1 represents creation and new beginnings. It's the transition from nothing to something. It also represents taking action and initiative. The number 1 is associated with the Magician in tarot, which talks about our power to create things in the physical world with our will and our actions. It can also be associated with the Wheel of Fortune and the Sun, because when you reduce the digits of those cards, they also add up to 1. And both of these cards do symbolize manifestation and things being set into motion. And the number 1 is associated with masculine or yang energy. This number might appear in your life to confirm to you that a new beginning or a manifestation is coming to you. It encourages you to go ahead and take action on that thing that you've been thinking about, and encourages you to step more into your divine masculine energy, which means being confident, assertive, and independent. Number 2 is the number of duality, as you may have guessed. It represents balance between two sides or two polarities, whether that be different aspects within yourself or balance between you and another person. It represents partnerships, union, and harmony. At times, it could talk about a decision between two potential paths. And as 1 was associated with the masculine or yang energy, 2 is associated with feminine or yin energy. It's associated with the High Priestess in tarot, who possesses traits of the divine feminine such as intuition, receptiveness, depth, and serenity. The number 2 can also be associated with justice, which is about balancing polarities to find the truth, and judgment, which is about decision-making, intuition, and higher levels of consciousness. This number might appear in your life to remind you to take a balanced approach, or it could be foretelling a new relationship or partnership that is coming into your life. Finally, it could be encouraging you to step more into your divine feminine energy, which means to trust your intuition and look within to find the answers that you need. Number 3 is also a number of creation and manifestation. You can think of it also as like the birth of something, with 2 coming together to create a third. And it represents balance too. When we had 2, there was only black and white, but now when we have 3, it creates the possibility of a gray area. It creates the ability for both truths to coexist. And once you have 3 points, you can finally make a shape, and also happens to be the strongest shape in the world. Yes, the triangle. I'm gonna stop doing this. And I think that's why this number is so strongly associated with manifestation, expansion, creativity, and abundance, much like the Empress in tarot, who is associated with the number 3. She's also a symbol of birth and fertility, which matches really well with this idea of 2 coming together to create a third. The number 3 can also be associated with the Hanged Man, which admittedly it did confuse me at first, but the Hanged Man is about spiritual expansion and gaining a new perspective, which sort of reminds me of that gray area that we were talking about before. And the number 3 is also associated with the World, which is about expansion, accomplishments, manifestation. This number might appear in your life when you are about to manifest abundance, or it could be encouraging you to explore and develop your creative gifts. If you're debating between two paths, the number 3 appearing in your life might be hinting that there is a third, better option, or that there is some way to get the best of both worlds. Number 4 is the number of stability, security, and order. It's associated with the tangible, material side of life. It's also about cycles like the 4 seasons, the 4 weeks or phases in a moon cycle, like new moon, waxing moon, full moon, waning moon. You can also associate it with the 4 elements or the 4 cardinal directions. It represents these cycles or these predictable structures that maintain order in our lives. It can also represent family units because it's like this strong, stable foundation. The number 4 is associated with the Emperor in Tarot, who is very stable and solid himself. He is a protector and he also maintains order. The Death card also corresponds with the number 4, and it represents the cycle of birth, life, death, and rebirth, which is an inevitable part of existing in the physical world. The Death card reminds us to embrace this cycle, releasing the old and welcoming the new, just like each season fades out to allow for the next one to come in. The number 4 often appears to let us know that we are safe and protected and that we are on the right path. It reminds us that nothing has gone wrong, even when it might seem that way. When you see this number, you can rest assured that everything is under control and whatever is happening is supposed to be happening. 4 is considered to be an angelic number, so if you do see this number repeated a lot, it could be a sign that angels are trying to communicate with you. Number 5 is the number of freedom, change, and adventure. It's considered to be a pivotal number because if you don't count 0, it's right in the middle of the single-digit numbers. It's a very powerful number and it's almost like the bridge between the physical and the spiritual world. On one hand, it's considered to be the number of humanity, as humans have 5 senses, 5 major systems in their body, I had to look that up, and also 5 fingers and 5 toes. And at the same time, it can be linked to spirit if you think of spirit as the 5th element or as existing in the 5th dimension. The tarot cards associated with the number 5 are the Hierophant and Temperance. They hold so much wisdom about the human experience, and they speak of our journey to our highest selves and of our connection to spirit as well. This number might appear in your life to let you know that significant change is coming, that you're about to embark on a new adventure that leads to your growth and spiritual development. Number 6 has both the meanings of 2 and 3 within it, as it represents balance and harmony as well as creativity. In addition, this is the number of unconditional love and nurturing. It symbolizes compassion, connectedness, and union between people. So it is very fitting that the number 6 is on the Lover's card in tarot. However, this number is also associated with the devil. And the way I see it is like the devil is kind of what happens when we forget about this truth of the number 6. When we forget that love is unconditional and that we are all one. Because the devil's energy is overly attached, it is controlling, it is obsessive, insecure, and many of these things in our life can often mask themselves as love. So it's kind of like the inverse of the Lovers, and interestingly, it actually looks very similar, like imagery wise. By the way, I looked up why the number 666 is associated with the devil. I don't want this video to be too long, so I will link an interesting article that explains it, but basically the short version is that it actually doesn't have to do with the numerological meaning of the number 6. In other words, if you guys are seeing repeating number 6s, it's not a bad thing. In fact, if you do happen to see repeating 6s, it may be a sign that there is love coming to you, perhaps a significant union, or it can be foretelling that you are going to find peace of mind and balance in your life very soon. Number 7 is about our search for the deeper meaning behind things and our greater purpose. It is known as a spirit number and is even considered a sacred number as it symbolizes completion and perfection. In many religions, there are considered to be 7 heavens, and humans have used a 7-day week cycle for thousands of years. We also have 7 main chakras in our body, and when they are all open, we feel completely aware and present in both both the material world and the spiritual world. It's considered to be a very lucky number, and I would even associate it with miracles. The number 7 is associated with the Chariot in tarot, which has this energy of accomplishment, mastery, and victory. So it has both the meanings of completion as well as good luck. The other card associated with the number 7 is the Tower, and I think this card speaks more to the quest for deeper meaning and spiritual development. 7 calls us to be introspective and reflective, and when these shocking tower moments happen, we need to remember that there's a greater meaning behind everything that happens to us, that there's always an opportunity for growth and learning, and that ultimately this tower moment will bring us something positive. The number 7 might appear in your life to encourage you to reflect on the ways your current situation is contributing to your growth, and it lets you know that everything is perfect, you're on the right path, and that good luck is coming to you very soon. Number 8 is the number of abundance, ambition, and success. Like 7, 8 is considered to be a lucky number. You may have noticed that all the even numbers have some element of balance to them, and this is especially the case with the number 8 because not only is it a symmetrical shape, it creates an infinity symbol. It can talk about any balance in our lives, but it often talks about the balance between giving and receiving, so getting out of something what you have put into it, and for this reason, it's also associated with karma. In tarot, the number 8 corresponds to the Strength card, which is about balancing our emotions and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel after a tough time, but traditionally it was actually on the Justice card, which does make sense because it's about balancing all sides of a story to find the truth, and also has some meanings of karma tied to it. And the number 8 also corresponds to the Star, which has that lucky and abundant side to it. It represents the realization of our hopes and dreams. The number 8 might appear in your life to let you know that it is time for you to receive, whether it be financial gain, a career opportunity, or some other form of good karma. If you see this number, it's almost guaranteed that blessings are coming your way. It could also be telling you that someone in your life is getting their karma. Basically, it's telling you that luck is on your side. Number 9 is the last of the single-digit numbers, and as such, it represents completion or near completion. The energy of number 9 is highly evolved, and it can represent things like awakenings, enlightenment, discovering our soul purpose or our soul mission. It talks about a higher perspective, the bigger picture, and gaining divine wisdom. It's made up of 3 threes, so it's also very creative and expansive. The number 9 is associated with the Hermit in tarot, who is a very wise spiritual being looking within himself to find answers about life and the universe. It also corresponds to the Moon, which is strongly linked to intuition and things going on behind the scenes that are greater than just our physical body. This number might appear to you to let you know that a phase of your life is almost over and it is time for a leveling up, that it's time to move on from things that aren't serving you anymore. It may be encouraging you to be creative, artistic, or express yourself more. And it reminds you to look at the bigger picture, to not get so caught up in your worries and controlling every little detail. And also, if you see this number very, very frequently, it could be your spirit guides trying to let you know that you are psychically gifted. You may even be a light worker or a starseed. That was all the numbers. If you watch through that, you are a trooper. From those definitions, hopefully now you will know what it means when you see 111 or 444 or 999. Now in this next part, I want to talk about the different formations of angel numbers. Like we talked about a little bit at the start of this video, these numbers can vary in the order or in the pattern that they show themselves to you. So I kind of want to talk about what those mean. I feel that if there are more digits in a repeating number, it makes the message stronger. So this could mean that the message is coming from a more powerful being. It could be that the sender of the message is very eager to get your attention or very eager to confirm something to you. And it could also be telling you that the message is happening in the immediate future. So if you're seeing like 2222 everywhere, like 4 2s, as opposed to just 22. It could be an angel or archangel that is trying to get your attention, or it could be that there is some union, there is some partnership that is imminent in your life. So now let's talk about double-digit numbers. Like if you're seeing the number 13 everywhere or 1313, I would kind of read this like a sentence, if that makes sense. So in the example of 13 or 1313, I might interpret this as encouragement to put myself out there and be more confident with regards to my creative projects. And then if I wanted to get into even more detail, I would add up the digits 1 and 3 and I would get 4. So what this tells me is that if I do put my creative projects out there, the result will be stability. So this would be a great number to see for anybody who is trying to make a living off of their creations. For another example, 74. Like if you're seeing 74 or 7474, I would interpret this as there being a greater meaning behind a certain cycle in your life. And if you're able to figure out that meaning and find the root of the cycle, you can break it. And then when you add, up 7 and 4, you get 11. So when you find the greater meaning and break the cycle, you're free. It's a new beginning and you can manifest whatever you want. So like if you kept manifesting the same unfavorable outcome into your life and your higher self is showing you 74, they're telling you like there's a deeper meaning behind why you keep manifesting this. Maybe you have to go in and see what the blockage is. Another one is today's date, which I did on purpose. Today is March 3rd, so it's 0303. And the way I would interpret this is the infinite potential to manifest anything you desire. So this is a very powerful day, and if you were born on this day, then this is talking about your whole life, so congratulations. The next pattern I want to look at is the one like this. So this is like two angel numbers put together. So I like to think of this as like a message about you and a message about somebody else. And that somebody else could be another person in your life. It could be a spirit guide, it could even be the universe itself. So for example, in the number 1188, 1188, this could be telling you that as you start to take inspired action, the universe is going to reward you with abundance. Or 2244, you might see this on the clock sometimes. It could be something like you're on a journey to your divine counterpart and the universe wants you to know that you are protected. And then finally, let's look into mirroring numbers. So this could be something like 939 or 9339. This one is similar in that I would say it also deals with two entities, with the main distinction here being, of course, that the two entities are mirroring each other. So in the example of 939 or 9339, we have 9 on the outside. So this could show that you and someone else have been going through your respective awakenings and spiritual growth. As a result, you can now unite. So the 3 is like the point where you have come together, where you have united, and you can create, expand, and experience abundance together. So now that you know how to read angel numbers, you can also write them yourself. This language is like a two-way street. So the same way your angels can show you messages, you can show them messages too. If you feel called to, you can create some angel numbers of your own to manifest what it is that you want. So think about what you want to manifest and how you would translate that into feelings and energies. For example, let's say I want to move out and find my own place. For me, I would associate that manifestation with a new beginning and independence. So in the angel number I create, I might use the number 1. I also associate a new home with comfort and security, so I may also include the number 4. If I add those up, I get 5, which represents freedom and change, and I very much like that for my manifestation. So to communicate this desire or this intention to my angels, I might want to write down the number 1414 or 1441 or all of the above. Whatever feels good to me, I will use that one. And I can tell my angels when my manifestation is close, when I'm on the right path to moving out and finding my own place, please show me this number. Someone else who wants to manifest moving into their own place might choose entirely different numbers. And of course, that's totally fine. It really depends on the individual and what meaning they assign to their manifestation, how they want it to make them feel. So again, this is a very personal experience and you can play around with it until you find something that really resonates with you. So that is finally the end. Thank you so much for watching, whether you watched just a section or the whole thing. I'm so happy to have you here and I really appreciate you. I hope this has helped you to feel more confident in communicating with your angels and your higher self, and I hope that you will take whichever of these methods resonated with you or maybe tweak some of the other ones to your liking. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and feel free to check out my other videos as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!